Jason, you wanted to talk about a chart from the New York Times that shows a dramatic deceleration in job growth over in the New York City area. Here we have a chart, folks. It's a bar chart. It shows job growth in the New York City area from 2021 through 2025. Breaks it down into two categories, Jason. First half of the year, second half of the year, so we can kind of see trends. And last year, New York City generated more than 50,000 net new jobs in both H1 and H2. The news story is that in the first half of this year, job growth in New York City was roughly 1,000 jobs.
Okay. And this includes only private sector jobs. So this isn't government jobs. This is like legit Goldman Sachs, et cetera. But this was in the New York Times. What's the reason for this? Do they have speculation? Do they have experts in the New York Times chiming in?
Yeah, found a couple things from them and also pulled some other data for a hypothesis. So first of all, New York is expecting to see about 400,000 fewer tourists this year compared to last year. That cuts back on employment in the private sector that serve the tourism industry. New York City, of course, being one of the global cities out there, does attract a fair number of tourists. Another thing that I found while poking around is that hiring in the finance sector, while there's actually very strong financial results from Wall Street firms, it does appear that they pulled back on hiring. And then my third hypothesis, Jason, was simply technology jobs. So what I did was go back and pull some data from SF, Austin, San Jose, and Seattle. And I was curious, their unemployment a year ago versus today. And in each case, we've seen unemployment in those cities tick up. And so I think the gist there is technology hubs have shed jobs. We've talked a lot about, era of efficiency and AI-led job growth. So I think what we're seeing here is a combination of finance being conservative as the market changes, tourism coming down, which is impacting smaller business, and then also technology companies are pulling back on hiring in general. And New York has been the capital of American fintech forever.
Okay, we have a record stock market, but we have the static team size trend that you and I have been talking about here for 2 years now. So static team size is actually happening in finance. So they're not hiring, big tech's not hiring, and tourism, listen, I don't want to make this political, but when I was in Singapore, I was talking to a lot of people who Singapore is like a global hub like Hong Kong is or London. So you have people from all over the globe wind up in Singapore. And these are the most affluent tip of the spear kind of people. They reported to me multiple occasions, their kids, they were not spending time in the US. Reason given, maybe we can't get in or out easily. There could be some border issues. We're going to just wait and see till it kind of clears up the xenophobic sentiment around the borders. Whether that's true or not, whether they could get through customs, with no difference, that's the perception. Perception equals reality. And if you make people feel unwelcome, which this administration has done, when you're deporting people in a violent way, in an aggressive way, and then people are getting stopped at the border and they just hear these anecdotal stories, they will say, well, maybe that applies to me, or maybe it applies to me next.